What is up, everyone? Welcome back to your mom's favorite fantasy football podcast. We have a super fun bonus episode that just kind of landed in our lap tonight. We have our good friend and our first guest ever, Mr. Anthony Cruz, or we like to call him Cruz. Welcome in.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
What is up, brother? So Christian hit me up today with a great idea. Cruz, I guess, reached out to Christian first and told him that he's in a draft tonight. It's just a redraft PPR. And Christian was like, what if we did a fun episode that's kind of like a live redraft with everyone? So Cruz was totally about it. We were both about it. And so, yeah, we're just going to kind of see how this one goes tonight. So Cruz, go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself, your fantasy background, and what this league kind of is.
So, name is Anthony Cruz. Not too much experience in fantasy football. I played for probably four times. I keep up with it, but haven't had the best of luck. Won my money back, third place, and then really few other experiences just not doing too good. So, hoping my boys can come through, help me out, give me some good tips, and learn a couple things tonight.
Of course, dude. Yeah, that's what we're here to do. And for those of y'all watching at home, hopefully, Christian had brought up a good point. We're gonna give you all updates throughout the season to kind of, since this is like a team effort now, to kind of see how Cruz's team does with our help and see if we really are that good at what we do. But anyway, we got about a minute before this draft starts, and let's go ahead and see what's on the board right here. Cruz, you have the eighth pick. It looks sixth pick. Sixth pick. It looks like. Okay, so in a redraft PPR, Christian, who are you kind of looking at first for Cruz's first pick, based on what's kind of there right now and what you hope might fall to him?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think for this one, it's going to test both of us a little bit because we haven't done something like this. This is an 8-person league.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to be dealing with high-end talent flying off really fast and having really stacked teams. So I think we just kind of let the marbles fall where they may. Right. Mm-hmm. If we see some guys draft some quarterbacks first round, make some really bad decisions, then we take full advantage and we get some of the high-end running back talent at the tail end. But what I'm actually expecting is probably people that are middle of the road, casual football fans. So I'm hoping we get best case scenario, we land with a CD Lamb spot at pick number 6. But I don't know. Being that I imagine the majority of these guys are from Texas too, we'll have to see. I imagine there's a little bit of cowboy bias here.
That's for sure. It doesn't. Oh my goodness. We are live with the draft. Okay, so for those of y'all that don't know, the draft has just started. We're probably not going to spend a whole lot of time talking between Cruz's picks and stuff, but as we can see, some players have already gone off the board. Looks like Jamar Chase went first overall, followed by Bijan Robinson. So we're at pick number 3. But we are underway, and it looks like we get about a minute and 30 seconds for each pick. What me and Christian were thinking about doing was maybe just saying a little bit of what we think each player or someone that we have in mind for Cruz, but ultimately letting him make the decision. So we have Saquon Barkley going 3rd and Jahmyr Gibbs going 4th. So we're still looking at Amon-Ra, CD, and Justin Jefferson. Malik Neighbors are the next off of the board. So they're all wide receivers here. All wide receivers.
And let me ask you this, Clay. It already happened. Okay.
Hey, cruising for a bruising.
Yeah.
For a bruising.
All right.
I was going to ask you this hypothetical, but it's here. I think Cruz is deciding between Amon-Ra and CD. I'm going to vote CD, but do you have a different person?
Nope. I'm going to stick with you there. I'm going to go CD as well.
Okay. Excellent.
Cruz, it's up to you though.
Yeah.
You have a full minute left. But I would definitely lean taking a wide receiver here out of these guys.
Let's go with CD for Texas boys.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, that Dallas offense is going to be passing the ball a lot this year, and CD Lamb is looking to make a big splash points-wise, especially in a PPR league. Dak Prescott's number 1 target. I think that's a great grab right there. He kind of falls to you at the 6th pick. You see Derrick Henry go next. What were you going to say, Christian?
With the wide receivers in front of Christian McCaffrey right now, Amon-Ra, Malik Neighbors, Puka, if Christian McCaffrey is there and maybe one of those 3 wide receivers is there, what are you thinking? Are you thinking go take a risk on CMC, drop back a little bit, go Genti, take a look at Nico Collins? What are you looking? Because Cruz is gonna be right around the corner here. What are you thinking as of right now?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking CMC or Genty. Honestly, out of those two, I think I lean a little Genty and you lean a little McCaffrey. But I also see my favorite wide receiver there, Nico Collins, uh, at that. It looks like he's 11th overall. So you could get a nasty wide receiver stack in Nico Collins and CD Lamb. But honestly, taking a running back here is not a bad idea either, since the running backs there's more steep of a drop off than the wide receivers.
Yep.
So we
There's
see
CMC.
we see Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and Amon-Ra get off the board. So there goes McCaffrey. Here, now that the decision is kind of made for you, I think if they don't take Genty, I think you might grab Genty here. What do you think, Christian?
Man, it's funny you mentioned that. I was literally about to say if they don't grab Genty, he goes Nico.
Oh.
Just because I like the stack now, and then I see one of your boys later on that we talked about being Himothy.
I see him too.
I think Bucky Irving makes it back to him. Right?
Oh, I think you could be right here.
It would be close, but if he doesn't even get Bucky Irving, then he could go Trey. I think Trey McBride would make it back to him at that. If Irving doesn't make it back.
Yeah, I'm looking and I'm seeing Chase Brown is down there too, and we love us some Chase Brown.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what this person's taking their time, which is good. I'd be taking my time here too. And we'll see what they give us. And there goes Puka. So we still have Nico and Genty. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I love both of them. I don't think you can make a wrong choice here. But Christian, go ahead and maybe what are you thinking right now?
I love both of them. However, with how beat up the Texans are at wide receiver right now, Nico being the only healthy option and them having question marks at running back, I just think that CJ Stroud's going to throw him the ball a whole ton. As much as I love Genty's upside, I couldn't pick Genty over Collins here.
If you guys have been listening, Nico Collins is my Himothy wide receiver, so I totally agree with Christian. But whatever you feel, Cruz, but I would narrow it down to at least those two guys.
I'm feeling Himothy.
Let's go Himothy.
Hey,
all right, here we go, baby.
Here we go, baby.
We're starting
Nasty
off
stack.
Crazy with CD Lamb and Nico Collins. My goodness. But it's like Christian said, in an 8-man league, there's gonna be multiple stacked teams here, and the talent is gonna fly off the board. But I think going double hero wide receiver here, with two nasty wide receiver ones, kind of setting yourself up for success. And so, yeah, we'll have to see who kind of falls back to you now that we can take a break from wide receiver and look at our running backs, because we've already kind of stated that we're going to be targeting Bucky Irving and Chase Brown as our priorities. So hoping those guys make it back to us. But let's say both of those guys are gone, Christian. Who are you looking at next?
If both of those guys are gone, so Irving's gone and Chase Brown is gone, I'm going to be taking a peek at McBride. Is he still on there? Or did he get picked already?
No, he's still there. And that was who I was looking at too. If our first two options are gone, I think that's a great idea.
I think going for positional advantage there, like we've talked about in the past, makes a lot of sense. And then what do you think about this? No matter which one of those three names he might take that we're talking about here for his pick 22, with the quick turn at pick 27, if Josh Allen is there, does he go QB?
Oh, baby. Yeah, that's a good question, because I don't necessarily love the other name. I mean, I do love Lad McConkey there. But other than that, that turn at the fourth, I'm not loving some of those names other than the quarterbacks. But let's take a look at who's been drafted here. So after Cruz took Nico Collins, we've seen Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London, and Ashton Genty all come off the board. So looks like there was definitely a bit of a wide receiver run there. Started when that first guy took Amon-Ra, and it just ended with the Genty pick. So we're still, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks away before we pick again. So Christian, go ahead and tell me what you see.
I doubt this happens, but just in case it does, as we see Jonathan Taylor go off the board there, if we get to Cruz's pick, Josh Jacobs, and we see Bucky Irving and Brock Bowers still on the board for whatever God knows reason,
oh my God,
where are you going? Because I think that could happen here.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing what you're seeing. It looks like looks like the other members of this league are targeting running backs now, starting with that Genty run. They went Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs. Man, if Brock Bowers is still there, it kind of messes up my train of thought because I was just expecting for him to be gone. I think that's crazy value. And we see AJ Brown go next.
Oh
We still
man,
have 3 more picks. So as long as
I
these
think
next
he's
3
going to be
picks are
there.
not our guys, I think, and even if they are, Brock Irving, McBride, and
Oh my
Chase
God.
Brown, and they went Devon H. So no, at this point for sure, Cruz, you're gonna have your pick of the litter. We'll see here in a second what we're looking at, but yeah, you're definitely gonna walk away with one of Brock Bowers, Bucky Irving, Trey McBride, or Chase Brown. Those 4 good-looking men at the top of your screen there. I would take any one of those guys, but let's see who kind of falls to you.
Okay, that makes it a little bit easier.
It does make it easier because kind of like this, guys, this is a great example of just kind of letting guys fall to you. So as we see now, Bucky Irving just got taken off the board. So a little sad about that, but we're still looking good with who we're targeting. This is why you have to have multiple targets, guys that you want to leave your draft with. Let's see, about a minute left before our pick. We're still waiting on the guy before us. So Christian, I'm if he makes it back to us, I think I would go Lad over one of those quarterbacks, but that's just me. That's who I would be targeting.
Yeah. So we
Okay,
see
we're on the
Chase.
board. It looks like Chase Brown got taken. So
Damn.
I think we have to take a tight end here. We have
Yeah.
no other choice. So Brock or Trey McBride?
So we got a minute. Let's use Olive if you don't mind,
Yeah,
Cruz.
for
Just
sure.
because
Yeah, let's talk
this
about
is a crazy hypothetical that Clay and I talked about in the past podcast where, hey, what if McBride and Brock Bowers made it to you? Which was never going to happen in the leagues
Nope.
we were drafting in. And it's happened,
Yeah.
right? So I look at this. I tend to like your McBride for a lot of the reasons that we talk about over Bowers. He has the
Mhm.
quarterback connection already. We already know that wide receiver talent going in there. He's still getting the targets. But there's just something about the ADP of Bowers
right.
passing up on him for McBride that makes me feel. So I'm going to lean a little bit towards Bowers, but
I'm
what
going
are
to
you
lead
thinking?
with you with Bowers. I will just go ahead and agree. I like it here. Cruz, what are you feeling? You got 30 seconds left.
I'm going to take the expert's opinion, and we're going to lean towards Brock Bowers as well.
I think that's insane to get him at the end of your
Hey, God,
third.
that's crazy, dude. That's nuts, actually.
That is value.
That is perfect value falling to you where you're not necessarily reaching, and it's just falling perfect. So right off the board, we're looking really good with CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, and Brock Bowers. I mean, that's a 3-headed monster just to start off with. Christian, what are you seeing now?
So again, just the same thing I brought earlier. I agree. If Lad falls to him somehow at this pick, I feel like he has to, because Lad
Right.
at your flex spot is
Lad
kind
at
of
your
nuts.
flex. Oh my god.
Would be disgusting. But if Lad doesn't get there
Mhm.
and Josh Allen is there, I just say you have to take Josh Allen.
Sure. The
I'm-
positional advantages, guys. This is what we're talking about here. I mean, Lad McConkey at your flex is an insane grab. But I mean, look at those 4 quarterbacks there in a row, and Josh Allen being the positional hero that he is. Man, I don't know.
He might just put Trey McBride at his flex at this point too. Just start 2
Literally.
tight ends.
This is insane that Trey McBride is still on the board. I'm kind of wondering what kind of league you're in and if I could still get a buy-in because this is insane.
Buy-ins are closed.
Buy-ins are closed. Christian, I want you to look down on the screen for me real quick. I want you to see
Yep.
who's there at number 44, and I want to let you know that is who I'm going to be targeting. Hopefully, these rounds are going so fast, so maybe at the start of the 6th.
Okay.
Just to get I think that's a great running back value for Trayvon Henderson there. I can't believe he's going so late. But that's who I would be targeting later on in this draft. I kind of want to see where he goes, since we are still needing some running backs.
And I'm curious to what you think about this. We probably need to price him in here pretty soon. I'll probably pull it up on another screen. But oh my God, I'm gonna butcher his name. But who's the running back? Essentially, the starting running back for the Commanders right now.
It's Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
I think that he's technically supposed to go higher in ADPs, but it's not catching up enough. Cruz might be able to land him really late in this draft and get some value because I don't think from the way these people are drafting.
There he is, 120 Cruz.
Oh
God. I would just keep your eye on that guy.
Yeah.
I would just keep your eye. Hopefully no one in the league kind of understands where he's at, but that is a running back one or someone who will be sharing passing reps with Eckler that the Commanders will for sure be using. He's had a terrific preseason. So we're looking at the board here. It looks like after Cruz picked Brock Bowers, we see T. Higgins and Kyron Williams go off the board. And we are 2 picks away from picking again.
I'm so
Man,
sorry.
so we're looking at Trey McBride, Lad McConkey, and Josh Allen as our 3 guys that we're targeting, which is insane. I'm also skipping over Tyreek Hill there, and it's no disrespect to Tyreek Hill. I just think he's a bit questionable with his health and everything that's going in the off field and everything like that. So that is the only reason why I'm skipping over him. But yeah, as we sit here, we're 1 pick away. I don't know what it is with these guys. They're passing on Trey McBride.
Wow.
So they went Lad McConkey, unfortunately, and then they went James Cook. So we're looking essentially at McBride or Josh Allen. Christian, I think it's no question he goes Josh Allen here, though.
You know,
as fun as it would be to have both tight ends like that.
I don't know, though, man. All I'm thinking about is, I agree, but I do want to take a breather just to think about it, just to play with y'all's minds for a second. If he has Bowers and McBride, even if he's not starting one of them in the flex, that means that none of his league mates have a top tight end in the league.
I don't even know. I think George Kittle's 3rd. Yeah, and that's not even comparison. Yeah.
I think the shame of this would be to draft Josh Allen and then somebody lands McBride in like the 4th round, which is just
giving
ridiculous.
Them more value, yeah.
But I get it. At the same time, Josh Allen's not going to make it back to him, so I guess I'm leaning Josh Allen just because of the positional advantage. But my heart really wants to take McBride here. But I mean, Josh Allen is the safest pick. I think I really do think it's the safest.
Maybe a little bit of a strategic pick, taking the tight end out.
Yep.
Let's see. We'll play the long game.
Oh, let's do it.
Dang, double tight end. Here we go.
Some trade value there, and like Christian said, that's a player you can plug in your flex, and I mean, he can win you weeks. That's insane.
He had 1,000 yards receiving last season. What is this league doing? That's 100 less yards than Lad McConkey last season.
Yep, that is insane.
We're going for the win.
Yeah,
I mean, you are starting. You're giving your league. Their highest upside is George Kittle and below. I mean, that's insane. And I mean, I don't know what kind of league this is. I don't know how frequent trades are, but you have some serious trade bait if you do ever want to get rid of one of these tight ends to maybe kind of fill up in another position. You know, the season's long. One of these guys could go down as well. So you have a stellar backup. I mean, there's so many ways that you can play this, but looks like we're not going to pick here for 9 more picks. So let's kind of let our eyes wander around 9-10 spots down and kind of see what we're looking at there. As we see after Cruz's picks, we see Josh Allen go, unfortunately, and Travion Henderson. So that was someone that we were targeting in the later rounds, and it looks like someone else was as well. But that's no worries. We can definitely find someone else. So Christian, what are you going to be looking for next here? Are you going to be looking for running backs? Or are you going to be looking for more flex positions or maybe a quarterback?
I'm so confused, but in a really good way, just because, I don't know, I'm looking at this. I know this is going to sound crazy, and I hope they prove me wrong right away, and right when I say this, he gets drafted. I think Tyreek Hill might fall to Cruz. And if Tyreek Hill falls to Cruz, I get the injury, I get all the craziness around the team, I get that it might blow up in his face. But if he falls to him, which I think he might at this point, why wouldn't you draft him? So I'm not even looking that far down, because I'm looking and I'm seeing people are going to be looking at the names Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Those guys are coming off the board before Cruz's pick. I'm almost positive.
Mm-hmm.
But there he goes. Thank goodness. I was about to say, I guess we're now looking at that, looking a couple picks down. I like Kamara at this point, unless one of those top 3 quarterbacks falls to him.
I see Marion Hampton kind of sneaking up to the top there. I would for sure grab him just because of his rookie upside that he has on that team.
That's true.
That would probably be my top running back, and then I do see Kamara as well. I'm skipping over Kenneth Walker, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. At some point, we will have to start to fill that running back position. So
that's true.
Let's see. We're 3 picks away. And Cruz, if you could go to the left side of your screen and change that view to your team, just so we can kind of see. There we go. All right, so that's what we're working with. We definitely still need to fill our running back spots and our quarterback spots. So we're gonna go based on value here. What we kind of find, what kind of falls to us. Quarterback wise, I see Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow, and Jalen Hurts just went off the board. So at least ranking wise, value wise, Joe Burrow is still there. But as you guys know, there's still plenty of quarterbacks deep that you can get later on. Guys like Bo Nix, Drake May. I'm not stressing the quarterback position right now at all. And it looks like Cruz is going to get left with guys like Amarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara, and Chuba Hubbard there as running back position. So I think he just goes Amarion Hampton here and doesn't even think twice about it. What do you think, Christian?
Yeah, no disagreement. There's no question. It's Amarian Hampton.
Yeah, I think that's a stellar rookie that you let fall to what round are we in? Bottom of the 5th. I mean, I know this is eight team, and I don't think I'll ever get over that, but these guys are just like hanging in there way too long.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So what about here, Christian? At the quick turn, definitely some of these running backs will still be on the board. What are you looking at now? Are you looking at waiting and on a quarterback, or maybe trying to fill some bench spots? Or Cruz, why don't you filter to just running backs for a second and see what else is beyond these guys? I see Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard. So guys that are not super exciting names, but definitely guys. If we got to fill some spots, we got to fill some spots. Let's see.
I think he definitely goes running back. I don't know if one of the top names falls to him, because who's on the top of the running back list? Is it Kenneth Walker right now?
It's either Walker and then next is Kamara. I would love Kamara there at that pick. I think Kamara is the guy to take out of those two.
I agree. And if he's gone, as crazy as it sounds, with all the hype that's coming out of the Panthers locker room, I'd go Hubbard, because he's the only running back in that backfield if Kamara leaves the board.
Yeah.
And they just traded away Adam Thielen today. So all the safety passes are going to go to the running back.
I think there goes Kamara, unfortunately. But yeah, the only reason I'm just skipping over Kenneth Walker just has to do because of injuries and then how good Charbonnet is. That would be my only beef with K9. Cruz, what are you thinking right now at this point?
I think in trying to fill the running back position, I think that will be smart.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, QB positions do run deeper. So
yeah, I mean, look at that. Guys like Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield would be who I want out of those two, just for example. But yeah, there are still plenty of quarterbacks here that I'm not too worried about.
Yeah, so definitely leaning towards getting one of the best running backs in who's left on the board for me.
Clay, if Chuba Hubbard and Breece Hall are there, because we know James Conner is the reliable workhorse, but he's got a talented running back behind him. And that is going to be the scenario.
Yep.
And then I guess you could even throw Walker in the name, but I don't think either of us really like Walker, like you were mentioning.
Right.
I lean more towards Hubbard because of the passing volume, and we don't know what the running volume is going to be for Breece Hall, especially with another really talented running back behind him.
Sure.
But what are your thoughts looking at this running back board? Do you even dip down to go get Harvey? What are you thinking? I mean,
that is an interesting thought right there. I would definitely consider reaching down for Harvey. But like you said, if you are a Chuba Hubbard believer, I think you kind of just stick with him, based on what he can do and what we know he can do. Sure, it would be awesome to have two rookie running backs with super high potential to be those guys. But I think you're right. I think Cruz goes Chuba Hubbard and just kind of calls it a day.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. And I think there's even a chance that Harvey could follow him, or Pacheco, if he wants to add one more running back, and then just go balls to the wall with wide receivers from there.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I mean, and I know you love Baker. He was one of your Himothy's. I think we both really like Dak Prescott for what he's going to be. He's going to be in this league.
Targeting him.
No one's going to be targeting him, and you could probably get him into almost the last round, probably.
I believe it. I believe it.
Or at least later, because I think Mayfield actually might come off the board prior to even getting there, maybe. But maybe even Drake May because of the running yards. I don't know. This is such an interesting league.
Crazy good quarterback names here still that are guys with QB1 potential, depending on their week. So I'm not sweating the quarterback position here at all. But if we just saw Cruz's team, we have officially filled all the spots except for quarterback, and then obviously defense and kicker, which will be the last 2 picks of the draft. But yeah, quarterback here, like Christian said, I think we just wait. I think we just wait and we just look at this board and see what other kind of goodies we can find. So if we kind of let our eyes drift a little bit down about 8 or 9 spots, what are you seeing here? I'm seeing my guy, one of my sleepers of this year. I'm seeing names like Zay Flowers. If you go a little bit further, I'm seeing names like George Pickens. What are you seeing, Christian?
I like George Pickens. I also like, if he lands to him, taking the risk on Rashid Rice for the second half of the season.
Right.
We know the suspension is not going to be nearly as bad as what it was originally thought to be.
I believe it's going to be 6 games is what they're aiming for today.
Six games,
6
and
games.
if Cruz wants to bet on wide receiver health of his 2 wide receivers, which are monsters, Lamb and Collins, you're never going to take out of the starting spots if they're healthy.
Right.
Bet on having that extra, because Rashid Rice not being suspended is probably a first to third round draft pick
Right.
in fantasy football.
For sure.
We've seen the production, so I might take the risk there. As much as I love the other names around him, we just know what Rashid Rice is going to be for Patrick Mahomes once he comes back. We already saw it in the preseason a little bit.
Right.
Like, the connection is still there, right? But I don't know. I do see Zay Flowers, like you were mentioning. I do have a little bit of fear for Zay Flowers because in the 1 year that Lamar Jackson really excelled as a passer, Zay Flowers' touchdowns were super low.
Right.
He accounted for a very small percentage of touchdowns. You hope for that touchdown progression. That kind of scares me, being that people like Mark Andrews and then I think D-Hop are there now, right? I don't know how Zay Flowers becomes more of a red zone target when you have 2 massive receiver options like Andrews and Hopkins. So I don't know, man. I like taking the risk on Rice, but if Marvin Harrison's there, we already have a Cardinal, so maybe we don't touch him. But it's crazy that Marvin Harrison is still on the board.
I know. That's
Like you
another
said,
crazy wide receiver name that's still available.
there's just so many goodies. I think
There is.
that's the hard part about this league is it's going to be narrowing down elite talent consistently,
Yeah.
right? But what are your thoughts? I don't know.
Yeah, I actually I want to pass it to Cruz. Cruz, what are you thinking right now? Since this is your draft and we're talking about your guys here, are we saying things that you like, or are we missing names that you want us to look at too?
No, I do like what I'm hearing. As far as me personally, I really don't have too much draft experience. I didn't do too much prep going into this, so honestly, I'm leaning towards y'all on a lot of this stuff and kind of see how this will be a little guinea pig experiment.
Yeah, I like how this is going so far. I have I have 0 complaints. I think this team is unbelievably stacked right now. So we're picking in 3 picks, so we can kind of start to visualize who we might be leaving with.
If he gets there, I'm sorry. You gotta go Rashid Rice if he gets there.
So let me just update everyone. After Cruz picked Amari Hampton, we saw Scary Terry McLaurin, Alvin Kamara, DK Metcalf, Patrick Mahomes, and then we picked Chuba Hubbard, and then we saw K9, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Mike Evans, DeAndre Swift, Cortland Sutton, Breece Hall, and Travis Kelce to follow. I don't know if that person knows Travis Kelce is not the Travis Kelce from 5 years ago, with names like Samuel Porta still available, and then Samuel Porta goes right after him. But anyway, well, I'll let I digress. So we pick in 1 pick. There's still Marvin Harrison Jr. There's still Rashee Rice. There's still Zay Flowers. Honestly, I think you go any of those 3 guys. It's going to be kind of hard to put them in order. I think for me, I think they're all very close. Like Christian said, if you wait on Rashee Rice, he's going to be gone your first 6 games. Comes back week 7 through 10. Goes back on bye for week 11, and then he's back ready to make a playoff run for you, completely healthy, right? Other wide receivers already have 7 weeks of play. They're kind of banged up, and here you get like your reinforcements, right? You get Rashee Rice, fully healthy, ready to go, ready to run. And since we do already have a nasty wide receiver duo, honestly, Christian, I think maybe
it's tough.
I think maybe you go someone who is going to play to fill that bench spot, and then get Rashee Rice, because I think he'll still be there.
Okay.
I really do.
I like
I
that.
have a feeling he's still going to be there as well.
because
Okay.
Going
I
with the
just I
59th
just think
pick.
I would rather take someone like just in the instance that CeeDee Lamb or Nico Collins does go down, unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Zay Flowers wouldn't make it back to him, but I think Rashee Rice would.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Now, what are your thoughts here? Because I agree. I do think Rashid Rice could make it to the next pick. I like Zay Flowers' explosiveness. I've had him in a couple of their leagues, Clay. I think you have him in a league as well.
Mm-hmm.
He has weeks where he pops off. I just don't love the consistency when we have players
For
that are
sure.
going to be like a true number one still on the board, right?
Right.
I even think George Pickens and him might be on the same scoring level this year with how much the Cowboys are going to have to throw the ball.
Right.
What are your thoughts here? Because if we're trying to pick somebody that's going to play,
So
I'm
then,
not going to
okay.
lie.
So if I like what you're saying, if we're targeting George Pickens, then
Mhm.
let's go Rashee Rice here and guarantee that we take him a wide receiver 1 on our bench.
Okay, and being that we still got 30 seconds, are you a believer in DJ Moore this year with the new offensive coordinator?
Ugh, I no. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I'm not a
okay,
DJ Moore guy,
okay.
unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You don't have to be. Um, yeah. If we're gonna do that flip of him and Pickens or him and Williams, which whoever's left,
Mhm.
let's grab Rashid Rice. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Because again, that's a first. He's a wide receiver
Right.
1 if he's not suspended.
If he's not
Like,
suspended, he's going yeah, first 3 rounds guarantee.
Like Clay said, coming in fresh, week 7, ready to run.
Ready to
After
run.
these guys have been
Let's say
banged
Nico
up
Collins maybe gets banged up. CeeDee Lamb maybe gets banged up. You got a healthy, fresh Rashee Rice ready to go, ready to make a playoff run with the Chiefs, because you know the Chiefs are going to be in the playoff hunt. Those boys are going to be playing. Patrick Mahomes is going to be throwing. So I think it's a great pick there. The boys is coming.
Charles Barkley.
But what's crazy here? I mean, we could even see maybe like Zay Flowers come back to us, and it's funny. We could have maybe gone either way about it. It just depends what these guys are targeting. But yeah, I think what I'm looking, my eyes are skipping over DJ Moore, like what you said. They're kind of skipping over Calvin Ridley, only because of his health and his age. I just think we already know what Calvin Ridley can do. Yes, he's going to be wide receiver 1, but it's going to be in a young Cam Ward offense who we don't know how that's going to go. I think I would just target guys like Zay Flowers, Jamison Williams, George Pickens all over him. No disrespect to Calvin Ridley. I think he's fantastic, but I think we could maybe hold off on him just because of the other names around him.
Okay. Let's say the first 3 names go off the board and we're not going to go Calvin Ridley. And I think Devontae Smith's kind of a weird pick, so I wouldn't necessarily look there as well at this point.
Mhm.
But if you're looking between Jalen Waddle, Jared Judy, J-Mo, and Pickens, out of those 4 names, who are you going with if they're available?
Oh God, I think right off the bat, it's got to be Pickens. And I'll give you a quick little as to why. I think with Jerry Judy, he's quarterback reliant. We don't know how long Joe Flacco is going to be the quarterback 1, right? Jamison Williams, I just think in that offense, there's too many mouths to feed, right? There's Amon-Ra, there's Laporta, there's Gibbs, there's Monty. There's so many mouths to feed. I don't know if Jamison Williams can be as consistent. I mean, I know he's been progressing well. It just kind of worries me. George Pickens would be who I'm most excited to take out of that bunch.
Okay.
And that's just because of how much I know this Cowboys offense is going to be throwing. But if we look back at the board here, we see Rashee Rice. Well, you see our pick, Rashee Rice. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if James Conner is still on the board, I mean, I get that he's a veteran, but I mean,
he's a workhorse. He's a bell cow.
He should. I mean, I guess we don't go running back with all these good wide receiver names still there because RJ Harvey's staring at us a couple of picks down the road, right? So I mean, I'm sure
I've been blowing him kisses this entire time that RJ Harvey is still there. That's insane.
I guess we leave Connor alone then, right? We leave him alone,
right? And I think it's just because we know Connor's injury history. We know when he's their guy, right? He's going to be their bell cow. But I don't know. I think with Trey Benson looming in the backfield behind him, and that's someone who we could also pick up with like essentially our last pick in this draft since it's so shallow compared to other leagues. I'm not too concerned on missing on James Conner here.
Okay. And again, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with your analysis.
I even like Pacheco behind RJ Harvey as well. I mean,
yeah.
Do we forget how good Pacheco is? I know he's had some injury history, but who's to say he doesn't come back and just look like he's always had?
No, absolutely. I agree. Complete agreement.
I
So
think we
yeah,
have two great running back targets that we're still looking at.
George Pickens, I think, is good too. The other guys in front of him, they're not gonna have the touchdown numbers. They're gonna be injured. They're gonna be relying on a quarterback that gets hurt or is too old. I agree with that analysis. I think he goes Pickens too if he gets here.
I wonder if this guy's on auto pick, if he's going to just select James Conner based on auto pick. We'll have to see here. He's coming down to the wire.
Dallas
and he picked
Goedert.
David.
Wow.
Dallas Goedert. Oh my god,
Bro.
Anyway, anyway, we'll move on. Guys, if you guys have guys like that in your league, bless their heart. That's just free money. But anyway, so we have all of our options. We didn't really lose anybody that we were targeting, Christian. Who do you want of this bunch of Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams, and George Pickens? I mean, come on. Like, what can you ask for in round 9? Or what round are we in? Round 9, yeah.
I'm so sorry, but I'm going to change my mind entirely, and I'm going to say James Conner. I just, but that's all. But I just can't. I can't
You're
believe
right,
he's
though.
still here.
At this value that you're getting him is just insane. I get it. I get the flip. I get the flip. Absolutely.
And I don't know. Could one of those wide receiver names fall? That's what I'm thinking. It's like,
I know.
But the way it's
who's going to fall.
At this rate, I think that it's very, very possible.
So I'd go James Conner, but I mean, if you want to go wide receiver, I'd go Pickens if it's not Conner.
Yeah, I guess we do only have 2 running backs. I would love to take a third here for sure.
I think they'll fall to us. There's a solid chance. At least one of these guys
wow.
we're looking at.
Getting
James Conner
RB1 veteran in round 9. Or round
8. Round 8 of 16.
Round 8. Oh my god.
Halfway
through.
It's actually insane.
Yeah, I love it. I've loved everything about this draft. So if you guys look at if you guys are watching the video, watching us on YouTube, you can see our 2 running backs, RB1, RB2, Amari Hampton, Chuba Hubbard, wide receivers 1 and 2, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, tight end Brock Bowers, and our flex is Trey McBride. Here's the thing. I love Trey McBride as much as you do, but I wonder if there's more potential in maybe putting like Rashee Rice later on in the season in that flex spot. I think just because we drafted Trey McBride and Brock Bowers does not mean that we have to play both of them. Just because I think some players that we'll see later on in this draft might have breakout years, might have a higher ceiling. So, but I do also agree that taking McBride away from everyone else in this league while having Brock Bowers is just
even if he never traded him. He would never have to with how deep. Look what just happened. And I want to, Cruz, next time you draft with these guys, call us. And we will, because
we will be the 9th and 10th guys in your league, for sure.
Somebody just headhunted David Montgomery, who I didn't even see in the next 20 picks. I didn't even know where he was at. And somebody scrolled down to find David Montgomery. This is crazy.
This is wild.
He might have Pickens.
To your mom's favorite fantasy football.
That's right.
That's
exactly. Tell you that.
That's exactly right.
That is right. You're getting the VIP experience. Thank you for letting us do this. This has been great. I hope not only you do well in your season, but that we actually do win you a championship. Helping you out.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely have some follow-ups, and we'll check in and check base throughout the season.
Of course.
Mark
Cruz
Andrews
is actually not in our other league, which is so unfortunate. But like you said, he does have his fantasy background is not super in depth, and so we get that. We don't want to take candy from a baby, Cruz.
Yeah, it's a donation.
It's a donation, exactly. Not to say that our guys in our league are that much better. No, I'm just kidding. That's for you,
They're
Robbie.
not.
Robbie was listening the other night and said I was trash talking. So, and you'll hear that a lot. I love to trash talk. I trash talk in person. I trash talk on here. So, definitely have to get some banter going with the boys.
By the way, speaking of trash talk, I'm going to trash talk one of our league members here, and it might get me kicked out because this league member's got some power. But Dimitri, you are god awful at fantasy football, brother. What are you doing, man? Sent me some of your picks the other day, and I was like, somebody get this man out of here. Somebody call an ambulance.
He was trolling. He was trolling you.
God.
He was trolling.
even his trolling's bad though. At least
I
tell
think
me
his trolling was good. He
no
had you
way,
sweating
dude.
bullets. I heard the conversation. You were telling me.
I was about to die. I was just sweating. I was
He
about to
knew
have
what
a
he
heart
was
attack.
doing. He was making sure you
Yeah,
were with
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Sure
No,
he
but
was.
our fantasy draft will go down Saturday night at 9 p.m. So
Mm.
you'll definitely hear some tweets from me and Christian, kind of going out there. We can definitely tweet our teams, see who we walk away with. Something interesting that's happening in our other league, since we're still kind of waiting on these other guys to pick, and we have 5 picks left before we kind of get down to it. Christian, you and me, right next to each other in the middle of the pack. The
I
way we
like it.
did our order was based on preseason finishes of certain teams that we had randomized. And yeah, lucky enough, me and Christian got placed right next to each other. So Christian's at the 4 spot and I'm at the 5 spot. Am I right?
That's correct. Yep.
All
Mhm.
right. So yeah, it's going to be fun having to think not just my normal 10 spots ahead, but now 30 being right next to Christian. So
It's going
that's
to
going
be
to
a
be great.
bloodbath. The
I love
middle,
it.
we are going to. The middle is going to be an absolute chaotic mess.
It's
but
going to
gonna
be a
beautiful.
dogfight for sure. But as we can see here, we got 2 picks left before Cruz is up. And just as a recap, after we went James Conner in the bottom of the 8th, or the top of the 8th, I'm sorry. We next was David Montgomery, Calvin Ridley, Aaron Jones Jr., Mark Andrews. Unfortunately, RJ Harvey did leave us, and so did George Pickens and Zay Flowers and Jerry Jeudy. Those guys did not make it back to us, but they almost did. We were 2 picks away. So
J-Mo's off the board.
I think some of these names here, I see some wide receivers that I like, but I also see some running backs that I like. So I'm going to let you take the lead here, Christian. I also am starting to see some quarterback prospects at the bottom of the page that are now we can start to keep an eye on. But I think, Christian, I see one of your guys that you were talking about the other day. Don't be afraid to take him because he's old. He's coming up, Mr. Old Man Cooper Cup. But I think I'm leaning towards.
Oh God, David. I'm sorry.
I think I'm still leaning towards Pacheco here, but what are you looking at?
I like Pacheco, added running back depth, but at the again, I hate to disagree because I feel like we keep doing this, but
let's do it.
But
yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the top of the wide receiver board, and I don't like Devontae Smith or James Waddle when they're going at the rate that they're like at the level they're going. But here in the back of the 9th round to still have Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle as backups. I'll take Jalen Waddle as a backup. What if Tyreek Hill gets hurt and Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy all season? It's going to be the Jalen Waddle show. I mean, I don't know. I like the upside of Waddle way more than I like the upside of Pacheco. We have a turn here too, so we might be able to steal Pacheco or Pollard. I think one of those names falls back to us at the running back spot. So I really like Waddle here. But what are your thoughts?
Like yeah, Cruz, what are you thinking?
I think we got an even depth on. We got three running backs, 3 wide receivers, so can't go wrong with either. I don't have enough time to look through other people's teams, but let's go with Jalen Waddle.
I like
Let's go, the Waddler. No.
Waddle, baby. Hey, like you said, when he's not injured and when that team is cooking, and like we said, Tyreek Hill could spawn an injury this year, so it would absolutely be the Jalen Waddle show if that were to happen. I've had Jalen Waddle on my team previous years, and I have loved every second of it. My only beef with him is his injury proneness that he does have. So, but when he's healthy, he's amazing. Let's look here. We pick in 3, so we'll stay on the topic. Still have Devontae Smith. We saw Tony Pollard get taken right after Jalen Waddle. So wide receiver wise, we have Devontae Smith, Roma Dunze, Teteroa McMillan, and Travis Hunter as our top 4 running wide receivers. And 2 of those guys are rookies, and one of them is a second year. So, and then we see T Mac get taken, followed by well, there goes our sleeper pick that we were hoping no one knew about, and here he's going in the 10th round, Ja'Cory Cross-Goodmerit.
It was the first good pick all draft by anybody else besides Cruz.
Right? And then Deebo Samuel to finish that off. So what are we looking at here, Christian? I think I still like Pacheco. Other wide receiver names, I guess a Dunze, I wouldn't be horrible taking him here. Rookie Matthew Golden, I would stay away from too many mouths to feed on the Packers. And then Cooper Kupp, I mean, could definitely still be there. So what are you seeing here, Christian?
I want to draft Pacheco and just not look back. Only not because I like him more, but I really want to take Devontae Smith too. I want to be greedy because he's sitting right there. What's his injury status? I'm looking at right now. It's I guess he's question mark for for week 1. So I don't know. Maybe the injury status is not there. Is it a soft tissue? I would have to look more into it. Maybe we let him go and just draft Pacheco to get another starting running back. Why not? Right. I think we do that and don't look back. But
Okay.
what are your thoughts?
No, I love it. I definitely see both of those guys having great seasons. It's just kind of like what we need right now. Backup wise, it would be awesome to have Pacheco there. I think running backs do get injured a little bit more. And looking at our wide receivers, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I would go Pacheco here.
Perfect. Dude, look at that team.
That might be
You're stacked.
that might be the best team I've ever seen. My goodness. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, every one of those
Love to
guys that
see
you've
it.
picked, Cruz is a current wide receiver 1 or running back 1. I mean, through all 10 rounds or 11 rounds that we've drafted is insane.
So let me ask you this,
You're
Clay, if I
feeding
can
families.
if I can sneak in here. We got to fill his QB spot, which we can definitely
Mhm.
still do. A lot of good names on the board. In this league, being that there's not very many people, are you a fan of drafting just one QB and not holding a backup, and then just dropping somebody
I
on the
would
bench
for
spot?
sure stream QBs in this league. Absolutely. I would draft one and stream the rest. Cruz, if you could just rapid fire real quick, go through everyone else's team and see how many already have a quarterback. Hurts.
Burrow,
So it
Allen.
looks like everyone has already grabbed one. So except for us.
That's correct.
And that's perfect. And that's
Yeah.
perfect because now you kind of have any of these guys almost at whatever pick you want. I mean, those guys have all spent a draft pick that you've gotten another starter in another round. So
I'm looking at an
there's
MVP.
there's still so many good names on this board right here, starting with Bo Nix,
MVP.
Dak Prescott,
MVP.
Christian's future MVP of this league, and Drake May. I think those 3 names just stand out so much to me right now. I would take any one of those guys, and I doubt any one of your other league mates are gonna take maybe more than one. I could see a couple taking, a second quarterback, but wow. I mean, even if you like look way down, Christian, you could still see like Michael Penix Jr., for example. There's still so much. I mean, so much left, and I guess that's what you get in an 8-man league.
I've got to ask you.
Yeah.
Sorry. What would you wild out here and draft a kicker and defense early?
Oh no! I
No, you wouldn't. I mean,
No,
just because
I think there's still too much value on the board. Only
Okay.
because I think if anything, because of how much I'm in love with this team, I think if anything, we could do it the 2 picks before the last 2 picks when
Okay.
everyone's looking. I think we
Yep.
go one more round here, and then if you're feeling frisky, we could do that. But personally, no, I would take value until there's no value left on the board.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this then. Both of our Himothy quarterbacks are still on the board. Maybe they stay on the board by the time it gets to us.
Oh, they're
Bo
staying
Nix
on the board.
And Dak Prescott. Does he go Bo Nix and Dak Prescott and just keep both of them? And being that they have separate bye weeks?
Why not, dude? Why not at this point? Why not take both of them? That's insane. I don't believe it.
And then he doesn't lose
And then
somebody
Drake
on the
May's
bye
there
weeks.
too. I mean, Drake May and his running
Yeah.
ability. And someone already took Steelers, so someone's
Yeah, we're
feeling
seeing some
extra frisky
defenses.
right now, Christian. They're trying to fill out
Seeing
the
some
whole roster.
defenses off the board.
Yeah. Steelers
Do you-
defense, I do have them in another league. Here's the thing with defenses, though. In a league like this with 8 guys, you could hold on to one and then stream the rest for matchups, going off of like who's got a good matchup, who might be playing the worst team in the league. And then if they're better than your guys that you have, you plug and play them and you just hold on to one consistently. I think that's what I would do. But after our Pacheco pick, we see Tyrone Tracy, Steelers defense. I'm not laughing. Jalen Warren and Travis Hunter go off the board next, and we are 6 picks away. So, Cruz, let's look back at the full board.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, dude. If Devontae Smith gets to you on this pick, you have to draft him. I'm sorry. This league is.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Insane.
I didn't even.
in that Philadelphia offense is just because
Oh,
I didn't see anything about his injury. So yeah, kind of like what you said. I wonder if it's just one of those things that they're doing, and then Matthew Golden followed by Emeka Mbuka, another solid wide receiver. But these guys are passing on Devontae Smith, which is just
brother,
Looks like he
he's
got
gonna.
a groin injury on the 19th.
You got to go Devontae, even with the groin injury, groin injury. Give me Devontae Smith. I don't know. I'm sorry if he makes
Too
it
much
this
value on
far.
the board.
Yeah.
oh, that's insane. That is insane.
And you will need some. He will need some wide receiver depth anyway, because outside. I mean, Rashid Rice obviously not, like we were saying earlier, not playing the first 6 games, so Waddle's his only backup really currently right now. We got to go wide receiver somewhere. Now it is kind of like, oh, do I really want to take a injured wide receiver that's already injured week 1? That does kind of suck when you have names like Jacoby Myers still on the board. And then if let's see here. And if we do go down further, you have Ricky Pearsall, but he can get Ricky Pearsall's going to be there later.
We're not even gonna get to like great sleepers in this draft because it is so shallow. But yeah, you have Ricky Pearsall at the bottom of the page, and we're probably not even gonna touch him because of the sheer depth that we already have. My boy Tyler Warren.
Oh God,
that's just insane. That's just insane.
Dude, if he lands to him, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna make myself cry. That's. I mean, what a
I think
crazy
we're looking
draft.
at him landing.
There's no
People are
shot.
scared of the questionable.
Three picks remaining. There's no shot. Somebody has to auto pick him. There's got to be somebody on auto.
I think you're
We're
right. I
looking
think
at
someone's
Hines
gonna auto pick
Best,
him. Has to.
Ben.
Oh God. Okay, there we go. Oh man.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
That is insane. Almost in the bottom of the 11th round. So, okay, so we will have to be targeting someone else here. I think.
Yikes.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. This is a bit of an ugly picture, and in other drafts, you could probably avoid this because you're already looking deeper than this. So, this is kind of the point of the draft where we could scroll down and see if there's names that we love more than their value or what they're valued at, and kind of see if we want to take some rookies here, or we could just take what's at the top of the list. But I do see the top of the list kind of looking stale because it is kind of stale. Those guys, not great names or not great situations that are going on there. I do like what you said, though. I mean, if Bo Nix's beautiful face is going to keep staring at me, I would love to take him here. But if we could still find value elsewhere, but honestly, we've found value this entire night. So,
Cruz, do me a favor and filter by running back and wide receiver in just a second, or running back first. But just want to see. What do you see? Anything that sticks out to you, Clay? I'm not seeing anything beautiful looking at me.
Yeah, nothing beautiful. I see great names that I would want as like a handcuff or as a sleeper or as something else, but nothing sticking out to me just yet.
Okay. A wide receiver, Cruz. Here we go.
I have a strong feeling that the quarterbacks are going to still remain in the running for me. I don't see a quarterback coming out of this league since everyone has their number 1 guy.
Is Pearsall off the board? Oh yeah, he did get drafted.
He just got picked because I would have maybe leaned toward Pearsall there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm kind of at a loss for words. Whatever you think, Christian. I'm not seeing anyone's name that I'm super in love with or that we can't just get later.
Yeah, I'm not seeing somebody that we can't just get later either. But I'm gonna go with Mr. Consistency here, just because I think he's on the board.
Say it.
I would go Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
Jacoby Myers. I thought you were gonna say Cooper Kupp.
No. As much as I want to get Cooper Kupp here, JSM's freaking me out. Jacoby Myers still on the board is an atrocity, so I would draft Jacoby Myers.
Even though that he asked for a trade recently. Oh, sorry, you got to go, Cruz.
We're going.
Yeah, even with him asking for the trade, I imagine it's probably just negotiations and contract is all.
Sure.
I'd be okay with it because even if he does get traded to another team, I don't think he's gonna have any problem earning the targets that he's gonna be earning. Again, we could probably count a little bit more upside, but Cooper Kupp was staring at us there. Something about Sam Darnold seeing Ghost just freaks me out. Yeah, I don't think he's a changed man.
You don't think
Um,
so?
I don't think so. I don't think
I think
so.
having Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison for him last season saved him a lot. So this will be for sure a test, with JSN, who's still on the rise, and Cooper Kupp, who is a solid veteran. So I agree with you. I think Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson definitely helped Sam Darnold more than enough.
What do you like Cruz doing with his two remaining bench spots here? Being that it sounds like we're not going to go two QBs, we're going to
Right.
stick with one QB and just stream. Do you like him going another running back, or if somebody like Cooper Kupp is still on the board in these next picks, just take Cooper Kupp? I
Yeah,
mean,
honestly, I think it's kind of blasphemy that Cooper Kupp is undrafted at this point. Um, I think it kind of irks my soul. So I think Bo Nix, Cooper Kupp here would be insane. Because I'm looking at the board. Joe Mixon, he's going to be out for a while. Quinshawn Judkins still hasn't signed his contract with the Browns, so it's going to be a shared backfield between Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson, which we're not even going to get down to draft. Javonte Williams is an RB1 for right now that we'll have to see, but young guys like Jadon Blue might take over. So, um, yeah, I think maybe you just go Cooper Kupp and Bo Nix and go to sleep a happy man.
yeah, I'd go Cooper Kupp here if he's still on the board. Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked with the first thing I want to do once we're out of this draft is I want to go look at your projections, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you're going to be projected to win every week, if not the highest points in each week.
Oh my God.
All right,
Yep.
Cooper Cup.
J.K. Dobbins incited that reaction, folks. Sorry about that.
I mean, I understand Cooper Kupp has had injuries and has fallen off a bit, but this is a guy who was wide receiver
And
one for almost back to back years. I mean, I just
to get him this late is crazy.
to
You
get him
have
this
to. You
late
have
as
to
a
choose him.
as a bench spot that's not even the second or third choice on your bench is just crazy.
Clay, let me ask you this:
Mm.
in any league you've ever done, has your wide receiver bench ever looked like Rasheed Rice, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, and Cooper Kupp?
I can for a fact say absolutely not.
I think there's been some years where my starting wide receivers haven't looked that good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting a little overzealous with how beautiful our roster looks, but we keep on forgetting that this is an 8-man league and these other teams are going to look crazy, but I do think that our team will look the craziest. The team that we've constructed here with Cruz is, I mean, it's beautiful. I kind of want to take a picture of it and frame it.
I know, I wouldn't blame you. It is pretty beautiful. Two backup running backs, too. Let me see here if we look further down. Does he
So
just
after Cooper Kupp, we've seen Evan Ingram, so solid tight end pick, nowhere near ours though, and Chase McLaughlin, the first kicker off the board, I believe. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. These guys are looking to fill their roster spots, try to take a positional advantage at maybe defense or kicker. But at the end of the day, kickers and defenses are, to me, they're a coin flip. I think they're all a toss up. They're all a shot in the dark. Because yeah, I wouldn't really spend too much time picking your defense and kicker. I think there's much more value elsewhere. But it looks to me like we're hopefully going to be finishing this draft with Bo Nix, but if not, we already have our pivot at Dak Prescott ready to go. So I am super excited with all of these guys that are still left on the board for us to take. And we would finish with Bo Nix and then take our defenses and kickers and go to sleep happy.
I'm so sorry. But if Tyler Warren would have fell, I would have had 3 tight ends on my team. I just had to throw that
If
out
only
there.
you could play all 3 of them, right? If
Yeah,
only this
yeah.
was a tight end premium league, that would be. I mean, I think they would just have to go ahead and pay you now rather than even go through the whole season.
and this is the cowboy in me this year because the cowboy is out. The cowboy has been snuck away for a lot of years. You can ask anybody that knows me. The Cowboys, I've pushed it away. I'm sorry. Throw Bo Nix in the garbage can for me. We're shooting. We're shooting the late jumper. We're taking Dak Prescott 40 plus touchdowns. Clip this 40 plus touchdowns this season. Over 4,000 passing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl, Dak Prescott at regular season MVP and Super Bowl MVP. Cruz, draft that man. I'm sorry, dude.
Get
I'm
rid of your
sorry.
drinking.
Earlier before we had started this, Christian did say he wanted to do a bit of like a gamble / poll of who you think we should take here. And I think this is going to be it. I think this is going to be it, guys. So leave a note in the comments. We could put a poll on Spotify, but let us know here who you would have rather taken between Bo Nix and Dak Prescott. Right? I love both of them. I'll verify what Christian is saying. I will back him up. I love Dak Prescott as well. And that's not just because I'm a Cowboy fan. I actually do see him having a monster season with how many times he's going to have to throw the ball. But with as good as Bo Nix looks in that Sean Payton offense, I don't know, dude. I don't
Does
know.
he get
And his
both?
running ability, huh?
Can he get both? Just keep a quarterback on the bench spot at this point?
We would have to drop somebody, unfortunately. But oh wait, no,
No, he has a bench
you're right.
spot.
He
We
could
got
get
one
both.
more.
And so
Got
we
one
see it
more.
lead to us. We see Tyler Warren, Texans
Yep.
defense, Javonte Williams, Broncos, Caleb Johnson, Cam Scatteraboo, Michael Pittman, and Travis Etienne. So for sure we're taking our quarterback here, or maybe quarterbacks, but we'll go ahead and start it off. Cruz, who would you like to take? It looks like Cruz already picked Bo Nix. Bo Nix. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm sorry to do you like that.
No,
It's all right.
we'll get both. We'll get both.
We'll get
see
He's
both?
who
gonna
Okay.
comes up with the most.
Okay.
He's gonna draft his starter here in a second. Bo Nix is just Bo Nix is just an elite bench quarterback. But it's all right. We're gonna have our starter here pretty soon.
Let me ask you a quick question here, though, and it's not to get out of Dak Prescott. I promise you, it's a real question. As you know, we do have Nico Collins, and as you know, he is also the Texans wide receiver 1 here. I do see the Texans wide receiver 2, Jaden Higgins, there at the bottom at the 112. Would you take him here? Let's say Cruz goes ahead and he drops Bo Nix and picks up Dak Prescott on the waiver wire or whatever, because no one's going to draft Dak Prescott. But let's say we go ahead and grab Jaden Higgins here. Is that a good bet just in case Nico Collins does go down? Because he has been injured in the past. And Jaden Higgins has almost the same build of Nico Collins, and CJ Stroud would still have to throw to someone. So I'm curious here, almost as like a handicap for a running back. Do you take a handicap for a wide receiver who is also a current wide receiver 2 right now?
Maybe. I just don't know how proficient the Texans are going to be offensively.
Sure.
They took a step back last year. That kind of scares me. Looking at his wide receiver depth currently, obviously, again, we'll repeat it. Rashid Rice out 6 games, sure. But Rashid Rice will be there for more than half of the season, so having him as a backup, I'm comfortable with. Having Jalen Waddle as a back, I'm more than comfortable with. Having Jacoby Myers as a backup, I'm more than comfortable with. And I think those 3 names alone, before we even get to Cooper Kupp being available for him as well, could fill in the gap momentarily if Nico Collins was banged up for a week or 2.
Mhm.
I wouldn't trust Higgins at this point for an elite handicap. Now, if we're in our 12-person league and we're at this point, yeah, draft Higgins. And I see your point too, though. No one's going to draft. It's almost apparent that nobody's going to draft Dak Prescott here. So it's like, why waste the pick on a quarterback that's going to be there in the waiver wire? But my thing is like, why risk the opportunity for Dak Prescott to go ball out versus the Eagles, throw 3 touchdown passes in his first game, and have everybody hunt for him? I don't know. I think it's compared to Higgins. Does he have like an elite first game that, or is he undrafted too? I think there's a chance in this league he's undrafted too at this point. So
Sure.
I would keep the 2 QB at this point because I think we have elite depth at both spots, and that way he doesn't have to drop an elite quarterback
We
like
have
Bo
elite
Nix.
depth everywhere on this team.
Yeah.
He could just never use the waiver wire, honestly.
So
at this point.
I would feel comfortable saying, hey, this way you don't have to drop Bo Nix. Have Dak Prescott as your backup, and vice versa. Pick whoever has the hot hand, and you can play
Sure.
whoever. That's where I would go. But I mean,
I'm not opposed to it at all. I'm not opposed to it at all.
I
think
wouldn't be
that's where I'm
upset
leaning as well.
with the Higgins pick either, though. So I'm good with whatever Cruz you feel more comfortable with too.
We'll take your MVP. Future
There it
MVP
is,
this year,
baby.
Super Bowl
Future
winner.
MVP,
You just made his
Dallas
night.
Cowboys to the Super Bowl. It's not even a question. This year is the Dallas Cowboys' year.
So you're
It's
saying
their
Dak
year.
starting first here in round 1, our first game of the season, huh?
Oh, against dude, give me the Eagles all
You want the Eagles
day, dude. I
defense?
want
You're
all the
crazy.
smoke,
No,
dude. I want
okay. Don't
all the
listen to him about
smoke.
that. I
I
don't
want
know about
all
3
the smoke.
touchdowns and
All
270
this.
yards
Give
in
me
the first game.
4 touchdowns,
You're talking about
400 passing yards.
prime time Dak Prescott.
Prime
As much as I
time
would love to see
Dak
it,
Prescott.
I've been burned in the past, but I do believe he will have a great season. I just
Dak
don't know if it's
Prescott
against the Eagles in the first game of the season.
is going to put the league on notice.
We'll
Micah
have to
Parsons
we'll have to come back to that one. We'll have to come
is
back
going to
to
get signed in the next 2 weeks. The Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl this year. There's no hype about it. All
and this
analysis.
is where our listeners stop listening. This is where they turned it off.
Eagle and quarterback or kicker or defense first here, Clay?
I'm looking at the names. I see a lot of great kicker names for a lot of great high scoring offenses. I see Jake Bates, Brandon Aubrey, our boy, Tyler Bass, Buffalo offense is going to score a lot of points. Harrison Buckner could be good. Tyler Loop, he's a rookie, but he plays for the Ravens, so they'll be scoring a lot of points. But personally, if I have one favorite kicker that I'm going to be targeting, and I'm kind of going to regret saying this because I know we do have a few league mates that do listen, but if there's one kicker that I'm going to be targeting out of all these names, because I'm assuming all the other names would have been gone by now. And Cruz, we could definitely pick someone better than this guy, or someone that's higher on the list. I'll take back the word better, but give me my boy Cam Little, the guy who hit a 70-yarder in preseason. I want that rookie. I want that rookie who has a monster leg. I mean, that tells me for the Jacksonville Jaguars that you do not even have to get the ball past half field, and for that offense, that's still kind of like getting it together with Trevor Lawrence coming back from his injury, Travis Etienne still trying to figure out the running game, trying to figure out if they're going to use Tank Bigsby, wide receiver one, Brian Thomas Jr. going to be doing his thing. They don't even have to get to half field for them to say, all right, let's go get 3 points. I just think, and then I don't know if this league is played with like a kicker bonus of beyond 50 or anything like that. I just think this kid has a monster leg, and I've never really been excited to take a kicker. But obviously, I do target high scoring offenses first, guys that are going to get you into the other opposing team's side of the field for easier field goals. But that's who I'm taking in my drafts. If guys of these high powered offenses are already taken, so that I just wanted to give you a little 2 cents of who I'd be targeting there.
I like it a whole lot. I think the kicker bonus makes a lot of sense for Cam Little. I like my kickers, and this is now we're I mean, we've been picking up hay all day here just because of how much volume's been on the board. But I'm looking at 2 because I either like, for my kickers, I like to know that they're probably for sure going to kick field goals rather than extra points. So that essentially means the team's not scoring as many touchdowns once they get to the red zone. I like Cameron Dicker for that just because we saw the Chargers last year be methodical. We know Jim Harbaugh likes to run the ball, and sometimes that means that they're not walking away with 7, right? And Cameron Dicker, even though he is a UT grad and all that hateful stuff, he is elite. The Longhorns can say they have an elite talent in the NFL. It's not Patrick Mahomes, so
that's right.
They can't say that.
Rings or MVPs at all,
but who's counting? I mean, anyway. But yes, but they can have their day. They have Cameron Dicker, right?
That's
excellent kicker. So I'd go Cameron Dicker, but he's off the board now. So let's go with your boy Little. Let's go with the boy. Let's go with the risk. Let's gamble it up on the kicker.
He's got the confidence, and
I love it, dude. I just think right there, and again, if the season kind of starts to unfold and he's not that guy that we think he is, that's the beautiful thing about kickers. You just go out and get another one.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on. Before you take him, I just want to point out that there is Tyler Bass and there is Jake Elliott and there is Jake Bates. All teams that are probable favorites to make their, respective conference championships. So those offenses will be scoring a lot of points. So as much as I would love to take Cam Little, I think maybe sticking with the strategy of offenses that score, maybe one of those three guys first. What do you think, Christian?
Nah, let's go Cam Little. Let's roll with the rook, baby.
Roll with the rook. I like it.
All right, now we're going to defense.
And then yeah, you got to I think you got to filter out to the. There you go.
What a draft here! I'm excited to do what you said earlier, Clay, and just see where he's ranked at. Because unless we are just delusional at this point, we might be. I think he legit has a
we
pretty
are
high level
a little
team.
Delusional at times, but I think given you've won our league back to back, I've at least had decent finishes in the playoffs. I think I'd like to say that we know what we're talking about here. So, and with some of the picks that I saw on the board earlier in the draft, I almost believe Cruz is drafting with NPC or AI league mates. So, defense wise, I've always been, unfortunately, like that guy did earlier, I've always been kind of like a Steelers fan for defense. They have always kept games close and ugly and not a whole lot of points scored. But if I had to look at these defenses and maybe take a pick, I don't know, Cruz. I kind of like the Jets here. What do you think, Christian?
So,
but the thing is defenses are so coin flips. I mean, I just think the Jets have a solid defense and they've made decent moves in the draft and off season. But what do you think?
I think depending on where the Bills go, I like the Bills here. And then just to give a shout out to my crazy wife, who's not going to listen to this because she listens to half of our episodes and then she's like, "You guys are ridiculous. I'm done." All right. But she actually gave me the tip the other day that she's done her research on defenses, and I actually looked into this and it's true. The Cardinals have one of the easiest ranking schedules for opposing offenses that they play. So nice. I actually and they've
that
improved.
Is a great statistic to be looking at.
They've improved their defense quite a bit. I like the Cardinals here, but I don't know if I would choose them over the Bills because the Bills play really tough offenses throughout the year. So I like the strength of schedule of the Cardinals moving forward. Every other team that I'm seeing, they're having tough offensive matchups, right? So that's above them. So I really like the Cardinals here, actually. But what are you guys thinking?
I have no opinion, honest to God. I think defenses are all, you can mix and match them, and like you said, look at their strength of schedule, look at who they're playing in future weeks, and kind of make your decisions and based, trade them on the waiver wire and thing like that. So, Cruz, it is solely up to you, my friend.
I think shout out to the wife. We go with the sleeper pick and the sleeper set.
Let's go. Sweet.
All righty. Well, take us to the draft board real quick, Cruz. Let's take a look at this draft board. I think it's there at the top. Right next to the pick history. Oh man, that is pretty tiny. But we can kind of see our picks there. So for those of y'all that are still with us watching on YouTube or maybe want to pull this part up, there you go. We were in the 6th spot of this draft, and we started off with CeeDee Lamb, went into Nico Collins, followed by Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Then we went into Amarian Hampton, followed by Chuba Hubbard, Rashee Rice, James Conner, Jalen Waddle, Isaiah Pacheco, Jacoby Myers, Cooper Kupp, Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Cam Little, and the Cardinals defense. Wow. That is, I don't even know what to say.
I want to look at something from earlier. Cruz, scroll back up to the top of this, or stay zoomed in, but if you can scroll back up to the top of your draft here. Because I know earlier it was kind of weird, Clay, when we were looking at, go back to the board, Cruz, if you don't mind. Right there. It was kind of a weird spot where we had drafted Brock Bowers, right? A couple of names come off the board, and then we see Trey McBride just looking as beautiful as ever right at us.
Right.
Re-looking at the names that came after him, I don't necessarily feel bad about the pick. I don't
Right.
know. You know, I mean, I mean, am I crazy for saying that I want a 1,000-yard receiving tight end on the board who's getting 1 year better? I don't know. I actually like the pick there. And I don't think Cruz's depth suffered. But what are
No,
your thoughts on
it
that?
didn't. In this specific league, I like Christian makes up a great point. I wouldn't recommend this in all of your leagues, but in this specific league, in this specific example, the picks that followed are nothing that I think we lost value on, especially with having such a great start at the wide receiver position and falling into the running backs that we did, and then filling up the rest of the bench with depth. I think this was fabulous, and like the strategy of taking away, not only giving yourself a positional advantage, but then taking that same mirror away from everyone else is just. I think that's just I'm speechless right now. So Cruz, take us to. You can exit out of this, and let's see if we can see your projection matchups.
Let's see. I have to open up the screen.
Yeah, that's fine. I just kind of want to see what we're looking at projections wise, but I don't think that could have gone much better.
Yeah. Thanks again, Cruz. I know Clay thanked you earlier, but thanks again for letting us be a part of this. Hopefully,
Yes.
you don't end up in last place because of us. I don't think that's
I
going to be very
highly
If you
likely. But
have to do the punishment, I will do it with you. I will 100.
Sounds good.
I think that's a fair trade, Christian. If we somehow built the worst team,
yeah,
we have to do the punishment with Cruz.
I'm about that. I'm good with that.
I think that's the only fairness thing that we need to include in this. So, all right. So there's our starting lineup. And if you go to yeah, NFL week 1 projections, and then I want to see if it has like the matchup project. Scroll up. There you go. Cruising for a bruising. Click on that first. Yeah. Let's see. So you're projected at 130 to 123. Your advantage. Oh, this is so cool. I don't use ESPN, but it actually shows you the advantage, the player advantage, for these teams. And we have the advantage in almost every category for this first matchup.
That matters.
And that matters exactly. And we will always have that tight end matchup advantage in every game that we go into. I'm not surprised that it gave him the Derrick Henry bid over our guy, but I am kind of surprised that it gave him the Patrick Mahomes bid over Bo Nix. But I guess it kind of has to glaze Patrick Mahomes there. And then
Especially against Tennessee week 1. That's
right.
crazy. Anyway,
And
sorry.
No, you're good. And then we go down to the other part of it that we don't necessarily show much value on is the Cardinals and Cam Little. But again, that stuff is such a coin flip. I'm not too concerned. But what I am concerned with is that we are winning the advantage in every of the main categories that do matter: running back, wide receiver, tight end, and flex. Christian, what are you seeing now?
So I think it would be fun to go week by week, and maybe we're going to do this anyway to see where his projections land, to
Sure.
see how far it goes. But then
Absolutely.
also, just something to prove the point here in this small of a league. Notice how we have the positional advantage with not only Brock Bowers, but having Trey McBride in our flex spots. I want to see how many of his opponents we come against to where at least projected Trey McBride is a better flex, because I think there might be some people out there like, hey, you should have got another flex option or done this or done that. But I just want to see out of how many weeks we actually did pretty good.
And in that instance where Trey McBride maybe wasn't better than the other team's flex, all we have to do is scroll down and see which one of our guy is better in that flex spot. Because as we can already see, like James Conner is projected to have a better week that week by 0.4 points. So if he wants to slide in James Conner there, that's totally fine. It's not a big deal. But again, let's see how these projections go. So Cruz, if you could find where maybe we could go week by week for these guys. So yeah, click that and then click on the thing up above again. Oh, perfect. Even that works even better.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think you just click on their name. Oh, I guess you can only click on that one.
Yeah, click on that for now. Oh, it may not show our projections yet. Scroll up. Okay, so we might have to do updates throughout the year, but it looks like it's only going to calculate for week 1.
True that.
Which is totally fine, not a big deal. We can definitely see how this is going for now. But in this week, can at least see the projections. It's 130.1 to 130.9 for that week too. But as the season goes, we will definitely keep you all updated to see to show you how Cruz's team is doing. But I think that might wrap it up for tonight. Cruz, thank you so much again for doing this with us, and thank you for allowing us to help you. Like I said earlier, hope the best for you, and I will absolutely be doing the punishment with you if by some way we've messed this up. But
Well, I appreciate both of
thank you
y'all.
for being
Yes.
here.
Thank y'all for taking the time. Honored to be the first guest. Felt like it was a very successful night, and definitely excited to see how this goes and keep everyone in the loop.
Absolutely. And Christian, any final touches, or if not, you can go ahead and sign us out.
Yeah, just a quick wrap up. Thanks everybody for making it through this far. Make sure to follow us on all of our platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on X, and we're on Spotify. So make sure to go follow. Make sure to comment. I want to throw this out here, and maybe we can commit to this. Of the next 50 followers that come our way on any one of those platforms, if you comment draft, we're going to choose somebody selectively that's not one of our friends, obviously, that we're drafting with, because we're not going to help you draft against us, right? But what we
You guys are
can
on
do
your
is
own.
anybody who wants draft help and maybe even wants the opportunity to come on to the podcast, kind of like Cruz did today, throw your hat in the ring, give us a follow, and again, comment draft on one of our platforms, and we'll put you in a selection to help you through your draft if it's coming up over in these next couple of days. I know drafts are coming up, so yeah, give yourself the opportunity to have us here in your corner. But outside of that, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, please be sure to drop us a like or a follow, and we appreciate all of y'all for listening. And thank you, boys, again, and everyone. You guys have a great night.
Later, guys.